2018 Land Rover Range Rover Evoque Convertible Review. The good points of Land Rover Range Rover Evoque Convertible. Top-down appeal for fashionable SUV. Luxuriously appointed interior. Space for 4 adults. Off-roading ability uncompromised. The bad points of Land Rover Range Rover Evoque Convertible. Poor boot space and awkward access. Extra weight, blunt speed economy. Expensive to get and run. Not pretty much as good to drive as regular Evoque. More than 4 years after sales of the company's more conventional siblings began, 1.3 body style was incorporated to form on the Land Rover Range Rover Evoque Convertible. This isn't fundamentally the existing 3-door Range Rover Evoque coupe having its roof lopped off. Significant re-engineering may be undertaken to guarantee both the integrity of that open-top design, in addition to preserve its off-roading capability. As reduced convertible SUV, it's got no direct rivals, yet. Land Rover expects around 20% of sales will likely be existing Evoque owners wanting an alternative model which offers something different, and cites the Audi A5 Cabriolet, BMW 4 Series convertible and Mercedes-Benz Class Cabriolet as the primary rivals. Extensive convertible bodywork re-engineering. To bolster its rigidity for on- and off-road driving, the Range Rover Evoque convertible's underpinnings have already been significantly strengthened, which in turn adds almost 280 kilograms to its heft compared to the coupe version. In addition to supplementary bracing within the floor and windscreen surround, the soft-top Evoque's stronger doors are unique, too. Plus, there's a rollover protection device RPD which deploys 2 aluminum hoops behind a corner passenger's heads within 90 milliseconds if sensors detect the Range Rover's gonna turn upside down. Featuring the most significant fabric roof yet produced, the Range Rover Evoque convertible's top might be electrically lowered in 18 seconds and raised in 21, all at speeds up to 30 miles per hour. Practicality suffers with all the Evoque's transition in the realms of convertibledom. It's a strict 4-seater as well as 251 liters. The boot's some 169 liters in need of the coupe's. Its toughened boot lid makes access awkward, however, there is an optional sky hatch for longer time loads. High-power petrol and diesel engines. Sitting near the top of the range, the Land Rover Range Rover Evoque convertible is just available with a tiny choice on the 180 horsepower 2.0 TD4 Ingenium diesel unit and the 2.0-liter C4 petrol engine in 240 horsepower and 290 horsepower outputs. Both are paired for the familiar 9-speed automatic gearbox driving all 4 wheels. Off-road excursions prove how the convertible is really a bona fide Land Rover over rougher terrain and is particularly no less capable than other Evoques despite its not enough roof. That excess weight means both performance and efficiency suffer compared to the hardtop Evoques. However, the TD4's 0.62 miles per hour sprint is 1.3 seconds slower inside convertible than inside the coupe, while CO2 emissions may also be inferior towards the hardtops, jumping from 129 GkM to 149 GkM. The C4 petrol's quicker, however, with a claimed average fuel economy of 32.9 miles per gallon and emissions of 201 GkM. It's simply a sensible choice should you cover low annual mileages. Luxuriously appointed, refined hood up or down. In line having its position for the pinnacle from the Range Rover Evoque hierarchy, the newest convertible will simply come in high-end HSE Dynamic and HSE Dynamic Lux trims. Featuring the upgraded interior, hardtop Evoques enjoyed using their midlife facelift, with a lot more use of leather for your dashboard and door panels. The convertible also debuted the 10.2-inch Control Touch Pro infotainment system in the Land Rover. The Evoque convertible's version also features displays for off-roading functions, like wading depth when traversing rivers. The verdict. The Evoque convertible offers niche fascinate many buyers, however a soft-top version of Range Rover's most favored, most fashionable model will definitely succeed. It's got curb appeal and an excellent interior, and its particular ability to properly venture off-road is exclusive for a luxurious, four-seat drop-top. In learning to be a convertible, though, its practicality and driving involvement have got a hit. Watch the whole Land Rover Range Rover Evoque convertible review to view whether this boutique soft-top remains true on the brand's core values. Only one petrol then one diesel from launch. Convertible's more weight blunts performance. Efficiency is hurt with the additional heft, too. Sitting for the pinnacle in the lineup, the Range Rover Evoque convertible includes a more limited engine lineup compared to the hardtop, a high-power diesel, that is expected to account for that bulk of UK sales along with a petrol alternative, suitable to those who cover fewer miles annually, for sale in two power outputs. Regardless which off-an engine you select, all Evoque convertibles are fitted that has a 9-speed automatic transmission and four-wheel drive as standard. One diesel engine. Land Rover fitted its 2.0-liter Ingenium diesel engine into the Range Rover Evoque shortly prior to convertible's arrival, so it's an all-neutral fit just for this derivative. Available with 180 horsepower in TD4 form, this unit musters 430 Nm of torque from the usefully low 1,750 revolutions per minute. It's a refined power plant, not being especially audible even using the roof down, and its smoothness complements the slick shifting automatic gearbox superbly. Unfortunately, it's not all good news since it's hauling around 277 kilograms excess fat thanks towards the convertible's extra strengthening to preserve its stiffness. Both performance and efficiency are dulled in comparison with the Coupe edition. Land Rover quotes a premier speed of 121 miles per hour, but at 10.3 seconds the convertible's 0.62 miles per hour sprint time is a few 1.3 seconds shy from the Coupe's. It's the same story with efficiency. To the TD4 convertible, Land Rover claims 49.6 miles per gallon and CO2 emissions of 149 gkm. The same engine within the Coupe is quoted at 57.6 miles per gallon and 129 gkm of CO2. Two petrol options. The petrol-fueled alternative engine is badged C4 and also comes in two power outputs. However, on paper statistics suggest they're better suited to Land Rover owners who don't cover high annual mileages. Like the Ingenium diesel, its fashionable 2.0-liter, four-cylinder, turbocharged unit. First up can be a 240 horsepower version, using a higher top speed of 130 miles per hour quoted, while 0.62 miles per hour acceleration is to 8.6 seconds. There's 340 Nm of torque available from the diesel engine, like 1,750 revolutions per minute. Running pricing is its downfall, though. Land Rover quotes the state-run average fuel use of 32.9 miles per gallon with CO2 emissions of 201 gkm of CO2. If that's inadequate, a faster 290 horsepower version with the same engine joins the lineup in August 2017. Convertible feels agile in comparison with other SUVs. Four-wheel drive system is just engaged if needed. Sporty suspension setup means ride quality around the firm side. People don't tend to acquire SUVs for his or her on-road handling prowess, though the Range Rover Evoque's been located in high regard due to this quality. In most respects, the convertible doesn't suffer due to its deficiency of roof, either. Watch the Range Rover Evoque convertible by way of a series of backroad bends, and yes, it stays faithful towards the cornering lines you've intended, thanks in no small part to its optional on TD4 model's active driveline system. With active driveline, under normal circumstances the engine's power is sent on the front wheels, but right after the Evoque's onboard electronics sense additional traction could be beneficial, corner wheels are engaged and power is metered out accordingly. Cornering is further enhanced by torque vectoring by braking TVBB, whereby the inside wheels are gently braked to significantly limit the likelihood from the Evoque washing wide into understeer through bends. There's an affordable degree of steering feel for the wheel, and it also is sensibly weighted, heavy enough to feel meaty yet light enough for off-road dalliances, never to resemble an in-car gym session. Take those corners at speed and there's an enjoyable, reassuring balance in regards to the Evoque convertible, with minimal body roll, the extra body fat caused because of the strengthening bracing benefiting the Range Rover's low center of gravity. The pitfall with that extra heft is the Evoque's Salwachi firm ride is more noticeable inside the convertible, especially over deeper ruts. It doesn't tip it into your uncomfortable bracket, but you do get moving around in your lane to protect yourself from ironworks along with surface imperfections. Cabin feels upmarket with leather trim all round. In Control Touch Pro, a large multimedia improvement. Lowering the top adds on the off-road experience. Inside, the Range Rover Evoque convertible enjoys precisely the same interior upgrades introduced about the 5-door and coupe models as part on the 2016 refresh. That means the threshold panels and dashboard are swathed in leather with contrasting stitching. Nevertheless, the instruments are actually devoid of their jewel-like markers. Debuting for Land Rover inside the Evoque convertible may be the 10.2-inch Control Touch Pro multimedia system, full of satellite photo mapping, crisp graphics along with a generally slick operation. You won't need repeated finger prods to gain access to different menus. Where the computer falls down will not be so much in how it's used, however the angle it sits at inside dashboard. Roof up, it's rarely a concern, but lower the hood with a bright day plus the sun beats documented on it, rendering its display beside useless. Some kind of cowling would aid visibility but would uglify the otherwise classy interior. You've a commanding view from the road ahead thanks towards the elevated driving position, but roof down you choose to do feel a lot more on show, specifically in urban areas. Conversely, when you're exploring off-road, the rooflessness adds for the Evoque convertible's appeal, since you hear the tires squelching through muddy patches within their quest for traction and windfall branches cracking under its wheels. Visibility is great roof down and decent enough along with it up, the larger mirrors ensuring you don't feel vulnerable on models not fitted with blind spot monitoring kit. Cabin is roomy for any four-seater convertible, but it's noticeably tighter than other Evoques. Refinement using the roof up impresses. Sitting up front inside the Range Rover Evoque convertible, using the roof down along with the wind deflector up, the delights of soft-top motoring could be enjoyed inside a comfortable setting. Not only are definitely the soft hide-trimmed seats cosseting, they provide a great selection of adjustment, allowing you to feel supported yet relaxed. A fine combination. Almost every surface your fingers caress feels expensive and well built, through the leather-trimmed door panels towards the chunkily rimmed tire. Sure, a number of buttons and switches feel a little bit lower rent, notably your window lifts, but overall it's a cozy place to become. Climb into the back and the situation is comfortable but inescapably for the snug side. The roof mechanism has forced the back seat to get narrower, making the convertible a strict four-seater. It's for two burly passengers width-wise, though the front seats have been pushed forwards greater than is ideal for taller drivers for rear legroom for being classed as generous. Roof down, it's blustery set inside the back. When your roof is raised, all four occupants will likely be impressed by how refined and quiet the lining becomes, thanks to your multi-layered hood. There's negligible wind noise and in many cases heavy rain bouncing off of the soft top didn't appear to be 100 drums being beaten in unison. You experience a sharpness to your ride quality over deeper ruts and imperfections inside the road surface. It does consider the edge from the overall comfort levels, especially because body usually takes a while to re-establish its equilibrium over a compilation of ruts. Smoother surfaces equal happier passengers. Lots of high-end equipment designed to luxe model. Regular HSE dynamic spec feels somewhat lacking. Wide selection of options and accessories available. As befitting an automobile sitting with the top of the company's family tree, the Range Rover Evoque convertible is available in two on the highest two trim levels, HSE Dynamic and HSE Dynamic Luxe. Standard Range Rover Evoque convertible equipment. Although HSE Dynamic is near the top with the coupe and 5-door range hierarchy, it's the entry-level point with the convertible lineup. That doesn't mean it's a poverty-spec special: an electrically heated windscreen, back and front parking sensors, a reversing camera, folding door mirrors, xenon headlamps and 20-inch alloy wheels are part on the package, as well as Narvik black bonnet vents, front grille and also other exterior details. Open the wide doors for the inviting cabin and you'll spot illuminated T-watch plates within the sills, 12-way electrically adjustable front seats with memory functions, configurable mood lighting and the modern 10.2-inch widescreen and Control Touch Pro multimedia system. DAB radio, Bluetooth connectivity, cruise control and also a fully electric soft top complemented by all-round electric windows can also be parts with the equipment roster. Petrol engine C4 derivatives also come while using active driveline package to the four-wheel drive system. Topping the Evoque convertible range is HSE Dynamic Luxe, and that is the someone to go for should you can stretch to your extra outlay. Why? Primarily since it adds in many and the desirable options that will make living with all the baby Range Rover increasingly enjoyable. There's a computerized parking system with 360-degree camera coverage, blind spot monitoring with lane keeping aid to help prevent you wandering from a lane, keyless entry and automatic headlamps. Arguably its two biggest advantages above the HSE Dynamic are definitely the sky hatch between the back seats allowing the convertible to swallow long loads as well as a very effective wind deflector. Like other convertibles, in the event the deflectors and seats or the trunk seats can't be occupied. Optional Range Rover Evoque convertible extras. As while using hardtop Range Rover Evoques, the convertible's provided by a selection of personalization options, although your soft-top color will always be black. There exist several metallic paint options, refreshingly many which won't set you back a penny extra, because you can also make a choice from several two-tone leather alternatives and also a glossy black wood veneer in lieu in the metallic silver dashboard trims. We're not convinced with the stick-on decals you will get adorning the bonnet and sides from the Evoque convertible. To our eyes they cheapen the classy look on the car. Many from the other options are made to bring the HSE Dynamic trim nearly luxe levels, but there are many additional extras to further improve the overall specification. There's a black design pack which embellishes the Evoque's exterior with additional Narvik black detailing, in addition to giving the back and front lights a darkened, aggressive finish. Onboard technology is usually boosted with weight sensing whenever you're driving through water around 500 mm deep, along with a head-up display system. To get frank, this is just not one in the better systems for the market, so save your valuable money. You may also add an infrared reflective windscreen, a heated leather and premium carpet mats in the factory order. Plus there's a raft of dealer-fit accessories, for example tow bars and Union flag patterned door mirror housings. Safety levels should match tough-roofed Evoques. Extra strengthening braces maintain rigidity levels. Rollover protection calibrated to counteract accidental deployment. For probably the most part, Range Rover Evoque convertible safety will mirror that from the hard-roofed coupe variant, that has a host of active and passive safety systems installed. Where the convertible differs most noticeably will be the protection it provides passengers inside unlikely event of computer coming to a rest inverted. As designed for other convertibles, some rollover bars appear from behind the spine seats inside event the car's onboard sensors detect a roll is probably going. However, for the reason that Evoque convertible is going to be subjected to a greater array of angles when off-roading, the machines had to become recalibrated to monitor with the suddenness of a typical out of the ordinary measurements, effectively preventing their unintended deployment. Boot space is approximately half that from the Evoque coupe. Boot lid further restricts access on the convertible. Sky hatch is really a useful feature yet not standard on all. Four-seater soft tops are hardly ever panaceas of practicality. Along with this regard, the Range Rover Evoque convertible remains true to type. Yes, it's practical inside sense that it's got more off-roading ability than any convertible currently within the market. Playing with terms of space for passengers in addition to their belongings, it lags behind the three-door Evoque coupe sibling. You lose one seating position, there's less legroom within the back as well as 251 liters. The boot's up to 50% the size on the coupe's 550-liter load bay. Accessing that space is made even more awkward through the Evoque convertible's boot lid itself. It's hinged for the top but doesn't flip 180 degrees out from the way, requiring someone to scuttle underneath it to publish your soft bags from the letterbox-like aperture. More elegant, but admittedly higher priced, solutions would have already been to cantilever the lid within a vertical direction, or, paying homage to your top-flight Range Rover, a drop-down solution, which has a sliding floor to push your luggage into the space. Smallness aside, the convertible's boot remains the identical volume no matter whether the hood's been erected. Want to hold longer, more slender items, for instance skis for all those alpine jaunts? Then the appropriately named sky hatch behind the back center armrest is going to be a godsend. Just be aware it's not standard around the HSE dynamic models. Elsewhere the cabin's dotted with lidded cubbies, decently sized door bins plus a not especially useful open slot behind the center console. Put something in there and also the chances are it'll be considered a case of from sight, away from mind. The Evoque convertible is pretty a compact car, shorter than most of the company's closest rivals. That means it doesn't feel unwieldy on tighter roads, making it a pleasing and easy car drive and automobile around town. The only downside could be the visibility. To become convertible, there's a lesser amount of glass around the car to determine out, especially for the back, so you'll enjoy it for all the sensors and cameras that can help when parking.